Follow me, it's Mike Byrnes. I'm at TD Ameritrade's LINC conference, and I'm just about to speak on strategies to grow your business. Byrnes Consulting is proud to provide another video for the FPA Coaches Corner.
So let's dive in. You're here for a reason, probably, is to grow your business. Whether you're pretty good at growing or whether you're just not so good and you would need a lot of help. Hopefully there's something in here for a little bit for everybody. I actually wrote an article recently for Byrnes, and it was really about that. Like, what do you do with your firm once it's stalled out, and how do you start to grow? And the problem with Byrnes is we're all an ADD society, so they said, hey, try to keep this to 500 words. Like, really, that's a lot to cover in 500 words. So I was trying to think about what brand new topic to bring to this conference. I'm like, you know what, I'm going to expand on that article. So that's really the foundation of where we are now. So if you really have a great plan, you got to figure that out, and you got to take it to the next level to get better at growth. So to dive in, I love to start with this quote: a goal without a plan is just a wish. And time and again, we see that actually the business plan is really a wish. There's no detail to it. And we want you to be more successful. So just remember, if as we're kind of going through this stuff, do you fit in the wish category, or do you have a real good business plan? If there are business plans and your firm is bigger than just yourself, we oftentimes see it's kind of a dictator model. Like, hey, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do. Guess what? You got to execute on it, or things are not going to be pretty. So that's a big issue. I actually have an article coming out on Advisor Perspectives tomorrow about compensation. But one of the things I would say about compensation is to be rewarded, you got to feel like an owner, even if you don't own stock.
And for some, ownership can be as simple as just being part of the business plan. At Byrnes Consulting, we really wanted our clients to understand best practices for business goals, so we came up with the term BEST, and that stands for business-driven, effective, specific, and timely. You probably get business-driven and effective, so let's focus in on specific and timely.
But specific and timely is really where we see that there's a huge fall off. And so we're going to focus probably about 5 minutes on this, and how do you get specific and timely to grow your business. And the reality is you need to drill down on your goals. How can you get more specific to be that much more successful? So I'm going to focus in just on strategic alliances for this. And what I want you to think about is your goal look like this. We see time and time again a one-page business plan, which is good. We like it simple and easy to use. But this is it. Grow a firm by X million assets under management. There's not much more to it. And that's, again, you grab a weed and blow on it, or blow out a birthday candle, because that's a wish. You really got to be more specific than that. And sorry, I just came from Disney, I'm afraid to say this, but you got to mind map the crap out of it. And if you don't know what mind maps is, there's a whole bunch of software here. I'm actually kind of a believer of the caveman version of mind map. Get a piece of paper and just start breaking apart the goal. If you're more advanced, have a whiteboard. Lots of consultants would love that kind of stuff. But just start breaking apart the goal. And we'll tell people that, and then we kind of come back and see what they've done. And it doesn't really go far, but start with that goal. What's that number, and how do you start to break it down? I was throwing in a number of 24 million.
As you pick a number, figure out how to break it down even farther. And what does that number go to? So if it's 24 million, is that specific to strategic alliances or something else? And then break it down by the people on your team.
So you have 4 people, they all have these goals. Let's say some are better than others, so their goals are a little bit more aggressive. Now what?
For some people, that's as far as their business plan goes, but you really got to figure out, if it's strategic alliances, where's that business going to come from?
It's really 2 categories. So this is this mind map. You're starting to exercise and pull this apart. Ask how. When you're going through these exercises, just ask questions over and over. As you start to answer them to yourself, or your team answers them, you start to pull out the mind map and you get more specific for your plan. So partnership analysis. These are just two ways to get strategic alliances. The first one is from your existing relationships.
One step I highly recommend is dump all your lead sources into an Excel spreadsheet, and then track, why those leads worked. Was a certain activity that you did, or maybe a lack of activity that actually made the leads go dry. Figure that out, and then figure out, if you do have some bad relationships, who do you have to replace?
So how are you building a partnership to help each other? And what are you doing once you have that relationship to maintain it? It should be part of your business plan that you actually have a very focused thing to maintain it. We'll talk about that in 1 second. So I said there was kind of 2 ways to grow with strategic alliances. One is existing relationships. The other one is create some new ones. I would push you to say most firms aren't really good at this gap analysis piece. It really comes with your target market. Who are all the people that influence them, that come into your lives? Whatever the target market is, whether it's widows or corporate executives and business owners, they all have different people that can introduce you. And you have to be really specific, know that target market. So in the gap analysis, what are those new relationships that you need? You should round out that whole team.
The mind mapping process can be really wonderful when it comes to target markets, because as you break them down, you can figure out all different types of lead sources, whether it's people or organizations. For example, if you focus in on widows, maybe it's a grief counselor. If it's business owners, maybe it's a commercial real estate person. If it's executives, maybe it's a business coach. But as you pull things apart and ask a lot of how questions, you'll start to figure out who can be those lead sources.
Then who can make introductions? You want to figure out, oh, if you do this gap analysis and realize, oh, I need X, Y, and Z type of professional or type of business, how are you going to meet them? What are you going to do? What are you going to do to start those relationships? That's the other part, is once you meet them, how are you going to get it off the ground? All that kind of crazy stuff. What do you do next? How is this going to impact our CRM? Is it capable to do that? Are we just using it for a contact management system where it's just the contact, the address, etc.? Or do we have workflows for these new strategic alliances? When we bring them in, we do X, Y, and Z. Compensation, how is that impacted back to advisor A, B, and C? How are we going to pull this all together? This is where your business plan actually gets some meat and gets some details, and you're going to be more successful. So that's a really rough draft of what a mind map might be. Have an offsite, have a facilitator if you can that'll ask you questions, but just keep breaking it apart, and your business plan will be that much better. The problem with mind map software, if you actually use software, is it creates this kind of crazy org chart, and then most people don't take it back to the business plan world. You probably want to use something in Word or even Excel if you have a lot of projects that come out of it. So take it to the next level after that. All right, specific and timely was part of the best goals, so timely was the last thing on there. Now you have all these things that have gone into your business plan and a layer over times. So it's not just as simple as we need to bring in $2 million a month. Hey, we're going to do this with this partnership, and we're going to do this at this time, and this, and this, and this. And get really, really specific into budgets, timing, who's going to do it, all that. So actually project plans start to come out of your business plan.
Because business planning is so important, but it is sometimes very difficult, don't be afraid to reach out to an industry expert that can help, whether it's a coach or consultant or somebody else. Your business will be that much better off if you come out with a great plan. If Byrnes Consulting can assist you in any way, please reach out to us by sending a note at byrnesconsulting.com. We'd love to help you.
This is me and my dad on the rock and roller coaster the day before his presentation.
You ready, buddy? Hold on tight. You got this, bud. Smile, Mick. Here we go. Traffic jam. Drive safely. Here we go. Ow! 3, 2, 1. Woo!